my name is Claude Porsella in Washington. I'm going to be your host for this new program of Le Comité Tricolore, the Tricolore Committee, a vibrant and growing organization of the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. And who better to introduce you to the Comité Tricolore than its president, Yahne Miorini. Yahne, bonjour.
And, bonjour, Claude.
Let's start with the beginning. When was the Comité Tricolore founded and by who?
Well, it was more than 20 years ago. Of course, I should exactly have the right dates for you, but it's like around 30 years ago. Fred Exton, Geneviève Brunet-Smith, and Jacques Rosnier, well, but also Victor Obadia, that were really, really involved in all the French organizations. So he was inspired by the consul at that time. He wanted to develop the communication among all the initiatives of French people, usually done through nonprofit organizations. So he wanted like a forum where they can talk to each other.
Okay, and what's the goal of the Comité Tricolore?
The purpose of the Comité Tricolore was that forum, that discussion between and to coordinate communication, to facilitate communication between the French nonprofit organization, sharing events. So therefore, there will be no overlapping of events and so forth. Very quickly, however, maybe in the next 2 years, there was a big event called to celebrate the friendship between United States and France. There was like some big event going on. And that small group decided to sell sandwiches. And they got a little bit of money. And then they decided that they were going to help people with that money. It's how the fundraising started and what we call the Bastille Day later on. And that became the second big important element of the Comité Tricolore. And from there, they started with just selling sandwiches to start to have an evening event called the Bastille Day, where at the beginning they were providing food. It was kind of almost a potluck, but actually mostly the organizers were providing food. And then a chef, Michel, suggested that the French chef around Washington, D.C. should help and provide the food. And that's really put that Bastille Day to a different level, where then we were able to raise much more money, much more funds. And right now we are allocated roughly around between 40 to 50,000 a year to people in need in basically the consulate area, which is a Washington greater area, Washington, D.C. greater area, which include also Philadelphia, I think Delaware, Virginia, Maryland, West Virginia, St. Virginia.
You just mentioned that you are a nonprofit helping the community, and how do you help the community? Can you give us some examples of people you have helped?
Yeah, so we help them mostly by giving monthly allowance in some who are really in needs. One of the first people we help were women who were even not receiving Social Security. But also it's not just money. We visit them. Some we were able to deliver them some food, again prepared by some French restaurant. We will do that on a weekly basis and so forth. So for the monthly allowance, usually it's really people with super low income that will have a form of disability and cannot work, or they are too old to work. And also some family who have some special needs children that we will help. The funds will have from buying food or for like the special needs children to be able maybe to pay for some sport activities to help them to not lose or to help them to develop some physical ability, like swimming classes, so the back will still develop to a certain extent and so forth. But we help also people that are in crisis, that may lose their job because currently they are sick and they cannot work. Like a woman, we have helped this woman who was in her second breast cancer treatment and could not work. She was a hostess at a restaurant, which is physically impossible to do when you need to go through chemotherapy. And basically, the amount we were giving her on a monthly basis help her to pay Cobra, the health insurance for her and her teenager daughter. Now she has totally recovered and thrives. We have others, again, that had a temporary disease, couldn't work, and we were helping them to not lose their house, where our financial support helped them to meet some of the mortgage requirement and so forth during that period of time. Others are temporary, also like married woman. And we had a woman who just was left with no money from her husband, who had battered her, and she has 3 children and one still in diaper, so couldn't really work. We help her basically to pay for her rent up until she was able to work and to have a decent earning. The child support may not have been there, and the husband, actually ex-husband at the end, ending to go in jail for not paying for child support and so forth. So that's kind of depending. We have helped also people actually that were waiting for a decision by the criminal court. And while the person is waiting in jail, they cannot work and may have nothing to pay to even buy for the basic needs such as soap, shampoo, and so forth. Those are the most common one that I will come right now and that I'm sick right now.
You have monthly solidarity dinners. Can you talk a little bit about that? What's the purpose? Is it just a social meeting, or does it have another purpose?
So that has been developed by the past president, F. Shoshar, at some point just after COVID, when it was difficult to know what to do and so forth. So it's a dinner. First of all, it's a really good dinner. If you can go, just go, because it's a 3-course dinner that has been negotiated by one of our active member, who's part of the board and who knows all the chefs. So he's negotiated a good menu where I think that this is one of those really good dishes that they're going to make and so forth. And we have a nice group from 15 to 50 people actually coming on a monthly basis. So we have some people who come on a monthly basis, so they find each other and so forth, of different kind of social background and so forth. And in the amount of the price is included $25 that will go toward fundraising, again, to help and support people. So it's a different way to do fundraising.
Now your biggest event of the year, and you mentioned it, is the Bastille Day that takes place appropriately around the 14th of July, the French National Day. Can you tell us what to expect if you attend the Bastille Day event?
Yes. So right now it ended to even be now a city dinner. That is again of high quality. I can't remember how many courses we have, but it's definitely more like a wedding courses, where you have little appetizers, an appetizer, a main dish, maybe fish and meat and whatever, cheese platter and a dessert and so forth. So it's definitely on the French style. And again, done by a group of French chefs all together. And actually, if you go in the kitchen, it's super cool. I mean, usually you don't really go there, but it's really cool to see them. They are all happy to help and to cook together. So it's really cool because sometimes you feel that the chef will be in competition to each other. So you have some movies like that. And there is absolutely not. That's like those nerds of food and just enjoy and share whatever their talents are and so forth. And it's a group of nice people who are coming. There is silent auction, online auctions, and there is dance at the end. Usually the ambassador is coming and the consul is coming. The embassy is really supporting this organization because they have very little fundings or almost zero to help people in need. So therefore, we are in very close contact with the embassy and the consulate when people are in need. We like help a little girl. She was 15 and her parents basically had kicked her out from France, dropped her with one-way ticket to a United States, and whoever was hosting her at the beginning realized what was going on and decided to drop her at Starbucks coffee and call the embassy, the consulate, and say, pick her up. We don't want her. And then we help and coordinate to find placement for the temporary period up until we bought her a ticket to bring her back to France. And the consulate was in touch with social services in France to coordinate and so forth. So it's a very nice event, really friendly. And again, our mega event, main event, where we will be able to fund usually our annual support, financial support.
Do you have sponsors for the Comité Tricolore? Are you seeking for
We do. We
these
have some.
sponsors?
That's more is always welcome. So that's what it is. If you go to
Okay.
the website, of course. So the chef, to a certain extent, are all sponsors since they volunteer for free and bring food and so forth. But we have other big company. At some point, we used to have some years. Air France is giving us a raffle ticket for a round trip to France. But we have other French company, EDF, that are helping that you can see in the website. I'm a little concerned about just giving them like that without having the right list of all the very nice organizations that are helping us that we really appreciate. Some wine stores are going to help. We get fantastic tablecloths and bed linens from other organizations. When you come, you will have all the gift certificate for restaurants, for cooking wear, for a fantastic trip. Actually, I went to one on safari just that was auctioned at in South Africa, that was auctioned by the Comité Tricolore, and I had a fantastic time. I must say, you have some Club Med trip also we can bet on at the silent auction, but some winery visits and so forth. It's definitely a high quality event with a lot of people involved. And I forgot to say that a lot of those nonprofit organizations also do give a gift basket and so forth. And sometimes the selection is pretty cool to have.
And beside the sponsors, are you looking for a donation from whoever wants to give, I guess? But
Oh, we welcome all donations. And since we have improved our newsletter and so forth, we do have people that really realize how much the fund that they're giving us will help us and will immediately impact for the French community and the French-speaking community also. I forgot to mention that. Sometimes we help people also to get a degree again, so they will have a better life in the United States and contribute better to the American society and so forth. Every fund are really well used, as I said. So because we're a small organization, so there is no all volunteers, so there is no administration fees. So it's really making an impact right away.
and who are the members of the Comité Tricolore? It's an associative network, and who is a member and who can be a member?
So we have, I think right now, roughly a 27 nonprofit organization. Some are actually American. It's not just 100% French. It's whoever basically has an interest or a connection with France. Okay. So we have some of the classical one, like l'Alliance Française or the French school and so forth. But we have a lot of local French, I would say, cultural department, like the Alsace, the north of France, and others are believing to want to come. We have also the French veterans. We have also the French American Chamber of Commerce. We have churches also that are part of it. Some people more oriented politically, so some political organization. But again, remember that the political organization help to inform people about their right and so forth. So in United States, they will have a very important outreach information for other. But we have also music, the Opera Lafayette, that is coming, for instance, on other art, some French teaching schools, some French, like Washington Academy Association, which is just a welcoming organization. And inside you have plenty of activities and so forth. And we do have also French, just also some individual members. The individual members, however, cannot be more than 40% of this nonprofit organization. Again, because the second and maybe the first primary goal of this association groupment was to help the communication between the French nonprofit organization. And the second really important role is to support people in need in the French, in this Northern Virginia, DC, Maryland area. So that's kind of a little bit what it is. So whatever has, and I forgot, but we have also, yes, we have also a committee, subcommittee of exchange, like with one region that is part of Arlington Association, where they do exchange program, and one of them is based in France, in Reims, and therefore they are part also of our committee again. We have a wide range of association as long as they have something that connect them to French culture.
And I don't know if you mentioned it, but can you be like me, an individual
Yes,
can also be a
40%.
member, and not
40%
only the companies, but individual members are also accepted.
40% can be individual member
Okay.
of the membership.
My last question, Yahne, you're the president, and what are your goals for the coming years for the Comité Tricolore? How do you see it?
Well, I see that the challenge is to balance those two roles, to make sure that I develop a good communication, and when people are coming together, they enjoy each other and learn about each other, and therefore support each other as best as they can in this area. And part of the goal also on the assistance of people, help with people, we definitely help financially a lot. And the question is two different being scope is to make the Comité Tricolore better known. So therefore, people in need can really contact us, because of course the one who actually are smart enough to contact the embassy or know has a network of friends will know about us, but not everybody knows. And sometimes the one who are really in needs don't know, because they are so much in need, they don't know how to at least help themselves a little. So that's one of the really important communication. And the other one is to make sure also that it's not just money, that we help them also emotionally to a certain extent, and so forth. They are really, the people we have been helping for years are really appreciative, for sure. But you can see that when we do a visit to them, at least part of the annual visit of inspection, they're really happy to see us and to be able to share some of their lives and so forth. family that have some special needs children and are in functionally needs, oh my God, they are so fantastic to help. And again, sometimes there is more than just money to give and so forth, and how can we do it? So that's kind of some of that is open, and we want to try to make sure so that, like sometimes we did deliver meals, and that's in the pipeline actually, that maybe sometimes to maybe deliver them on a special week, some food from a restaurant and so forth, just to give them something different and so forth than just money.
Thank you very much, Yahne Miorini. Best wishes to you and to the Comité Tricolore.
And thank you,
You can
Claude.
join us on YouTube to meet interesting members of the Comité Tricolore and learn more about its activities. Thank you for watching. I'm Claude Porsella. See you soon.
Thank you for this opportunity, Claude. Take care. Bye-bye.
À bientôt tous.